at that face. Look at that face. You know what? I actually work at a school for kids with mental disabilities. I'm the handyman. Okay, I'm the guy who fixes everything in the school, keeps the building running. And so I'm not a teacher. I have no interaction with the students. I have interaction with the teachers. I'm always building them stuff or fixing stuff. And at that school, the way I see it, the way that I see it, the students are broken up into two groups. Okay, one group, you have what I would describe as varying degrees of mental retardation or autism. So you'll have kids who are nonverbal, all the way to, I guess they call it high functioning or something, and then there's a bunch of stuff in between. Okay. And then you have another group of kids. Okay. And these kids, again, this is just what I see and how I would describe it. This other group of kids, they're the crazy kids. Okay. These are the ones that, well, they do crazy things, punch holes in walls, break the cabinets off the hinges because they got pissed off over something, or they basically act crazy. Okay. That's the face a lot of them have right there. That like where that's the face they have. A lot of them have that face right there, that like I'm crazy face. Again, people are always commenting on how Gman's always like, can't stay still, right? The crazy kids at the school I work at, same thing. They do the same thing, except the kids at that school, they're a lot more prone to violence. So the teachers, they actually have special training for like how to subdue these kids. Like, it's actually freaking amazing. Okay, because I've seen like these like when kid flips out, and these two like female teachers, they will pounce on a kid like a panther, and it happens so fast, like like that. They've got the kid completely restrained. It's freaking amazing. I was like, oh, none of you can claim that.
The fucking I'm sorry, Gman. It looks like, I'm sorry, Gman. He looks like one of the kids in the slow class. If anybody knows what I mean, that took the short bus. The faces he makes, everything. He just, I'm in the slow class. Yes, you in the slow class, dummy.
Like, you're literally not understanding what it is the people are, man. G-Man's arch enemy, Dragnut, the biggest asshole I've ever seen in my life. That son of a bitch is absolutely right about the shit he says about G-Man. It's more, you know what? It's not so much that it's mean. It's embarrassing. Okay. G-Man is unable to retain large chunks of information. Okay. He can only retain fragments, and he has to fabricate things to fill in the get. This is embarrassing because what you're basically describing is mental retardation or Korsakoff syndrome. It's not pleasant.
You're dealing with someone here with a severely limited thinking capacity. His RAM in his head is severely low. He's running on Windows Millennium Edition RAM. Okay? Not even fucking 16 megs. If you offer a statement that's more than about 2 sentences, he's going to lose you. He can't keep all that in his head. He cannot digest information, have a summation in his head and hold it, and then continue to listen to you. He does not know how to do that. So he gets frustrated and picks up 1 or 2 words that he recognizes and then fabricates the rest. And then when you correct him, say, no, G-Man, that's not what I said, he will then argue with you because it's not him that's wrong. Obviously, it couldn't be him. It's you. The same thing that goes with Sokka. And I told Sokka, you can't offer him analogies because he doesn't understand metaphors. He doesn't understand the difference between literal and figurative. If you don't have that those capabilities of discernment, you can't get someone to understand what you're trying to say. And it's crippling because many of us use analogies to understand things that may be complex or abstract. But he can't do that. So rather than saying, look, I have a hard time understanding things of this nature, so here are some limitations that I have, can you phrase it another way? He's not able to actually do that. So then all he can do is get frustrated because then you are edging on one of his weaknesses that he is not man enough to acknowledge. And it's quite obvious to everyone. Every single conversation. He didn't even know what hyperbole. I had to explain that to a 40-year-old man. I had to explain what hyperbole is because he thought it was an atheist trick, a way for atheists to lie to Christians. No, I didn't make that up. That is an actual statement from G-Man that I'm paraphrasing. Well, over the phone. This is before I moved to Texas. I was still cleaning the apartment in Maryland, getting ready to move. And I'm sitting there with him on speakerphone, cleaning a carpet. And I could not believe he didn't know what a hyperbole is. Now think about that for a second. Think about all the time that he spent on the internet, and all of us use hyperbolic language. This entire time he's been taking people as literal. The way that this came up is because when I said true empiricism knows nothing about science, he was offended by that because, yes, true empiricism knows about ATP, to which we all laugh. And then it dawned on me that he doesn't understand that that's hyperbole. So, with those limitations in mind, the grand poobah of idiocy here is now denouncing what he sees as a trend of people moving into the camp in which he calls trolls. Again, using his definition. Now, what's actually happening in reality with the rest of us adults who have, an IQ over 70, people are realizing that he has this diminished capacity. People are actually paying attention to what I'm saying, and they're observing for themselves that he honestly does not understand these abstract concepts. Things that are very basic that middle schoolers learn. He does not possess that. So people are then choosing not to engage with him as an adult because he is not an adult, mentally speaking. He's a child. We just witnessed over the last 48 hours a child in a man's body lashing out, unable to control his own emotions, and having another man, actually two, to calm him down rather than him coming to his senses himself. He needs other people to curtail his actions because he's unable to do it on his own. Couldn't even be bothered to muster a genuine apology without having the coaxing of other individuals. The saddest part about that is that he doesn't realize how bad that makes him look.